Tom, do you think Harry and Meghan are fast learning what they signed away when they took this Netflix big moolah? And I would say they signed away their credibility and their dignity.
That's fine. I'll go it alone. Just like Meghan Markle and Prince Harry.
Our view, but it's not theirs. They need the money, and they need it now more than ever because they've got no other source of income. So I think they're just stuck with the devil now. They're tied to Netflix, they're tied to their book, and all the criticism they're going to take means nothing because that's the only way they can earn their money.
Very interesting, actually.
It's so awesome to be here. It's great. So let me start with you, Sam. You've lived a life with the royal family, you've had everything handed to you, but you say your life has been hard.
Once upon a time, not in a castle, but in a $14 million California estate, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were poised to become the next power couple of Hollywood. After stepping back from royal duties in 2020, they wasted no time turning their public narrative into a brand, inking lucrative deals with Netflix, Spotify, Penguin Random House, and more. At the time, the deals sounded like a masterstroke: $100 million from Netflix, $20 million in book advances, and a multi-million-dollar Spotify contract. Their popularity was peaking, public interest was sizzling, and they had something no one else could offer: unfiltered access to royal drama. The world was watching, and the Sussexes played it smart, or so it seemed. Their explosive interview with Oprah turned into a global media moment. Their documentary on Netflix drew massive attention. They were no longer just royals, they were media moguls in the making. And for a moment, it looked like they had rewritten the rules of modern royalty. People cheered them on as underdogs taking on an ancient institution. Critics called it a cash grab, but fans praised it as empowerment. But even fairy tales have a shelf life. Fast forward to today, and the glitter has started to fade. With Spotify pulling the plug and Netflix allegedly growing restless, their momentum seems to be slowing. The question is, what went wrong? Did the world tire of their story? Or did they bet too heavily on a single narrative that can only be told once? The foundation of their media empire may have been built on royal revelations, but what happens when there's nothing new left to say?
Do you agree with Tina Brown that there is a huge financial motivation behind what Meghan does? Obviously, you've written this book, Revenge, about her so recently, of course. A $14 million mansion is a humble cottage compared to what these other people have. And she added, at some point, it might be more than a new house she's looking for. Elon Musk is still single. That's all I have to say. So
the cracks didn't come all at once. They crept in slowly, disguised as rebranding, creative redirection, and strategic pivots. Spotify, once a proud partner in their post-royal journey, terminated their deal without ceremony. Rumours swirled that the platform was disappointed with the Sussexes' lack of consistent content, and insiders even claimed Meghan's Archetypes podcast failed to meet expected benchmarks. When the biggest takeaway from a multi-million-dollar audio deal is one season and a few headlines, you know something's off. Then came the murmurs from Netflix, the streaming behemoth that had once welcomed Harry and Meghan with a splashy $100 million deal, now reportedly wanted something more potent. Meghan's animated children's show, Pearl, was shelved. Harry's heartfelt docuseries about the Invictus Games drew attention, but not the kind of click-driving controversy Netflix is known to chase. The message became clear: feel-good fluff wasn't going to cut it. Instead, the pressure mounted for the couple to deliver what truly sells: drama, scandal, and the raw wounds of royalty. The optics turned tense. Were Harry and Meghan being pushed to spill more secrets just to stay afloat? Were they now boxed into a deal that thrives on their past pain, even if it tears open old wounds? And if so, was the price of fame and independence now becoming too high? What once felt like an empowering media empire was starting to look like a gilded trap. The content kings and queens were now on notice: produce or perish in the Hollywood churn.
I don't know if you saw this from Tina Brown, who was, of course, one of the last people to see Diana before her death. she said the Duke and the Duchess are poor by Hollywood standards. This was at the Henley Literary Festival, and she branded the couple D-list celebrities and said in Montecito...
From the outside, Harry and Meghan's life looks like a dream. Lavish estates, luxury travel, private security, and a team of advisors to manage every move. But according to insiders and royal biographer Tom Bower, behind the gates of their Montecito mansion is a much more precarious reality. Despite the staggering sums they were reportedly paid, $100 million from Netflix, $20 million in book deals, plus other brand partnerships, the money might not be stretching as far as it seems. The cost of living like a modern royal in California is sky high. Private security alone can run into the millions annually. Add to that a full-time PR team, lawyers to handle ongoing legal battles with the British tabloids, staff to maintain their home and lifestyle, and the expense of raising 2 young children in extreme privacy, and suddenly even a Netflix deal doesn't look so unlimited. Critics have pointed out that the couple hasn't had a steady stream of content or public appearances to justify ongoing revenue, and without fresh output, those once lucrative contracts may not renew. Sources claim the pressure is mounting. The Sussexes are said to be seeking new ways to monetize quickly, from Meghan's upcoming lifestyle brand to behind-the-scenes pitches for more docuseries. But the more they lean into commercial ventures, the more scrutiny they attract. People are beginning to ask, where did all that money go? Was the royal exit a long-term plan, or a short-lived cash grab now coming undone? What's clear is this: Hollywood doesn't pay for potential forever. And behind the curated Instagram posts and glossy magazine covers, a financial storm may already be brewing. Prince Harry has made no secret of his disdain for the media, from tabloid lawsuits to tearful interviews about the trauma of press intrusion. He's positioned himself as a vocal critic of sensationalism, especially when it comes to his late mother, Princess Diana. But now, critics are pointing out what they call a glaring contradiction. While Harry lambasts the media for exploiting his family's pain, he's reportedly cashing checks from a platform doing exactly that. Netflix, the very company funding Harry and Meghan's post-royal career, is also home to The Crown, a dramatized series that's about to rehash some of the darkest moments of Diana's life. According to reports, the upcoming season will include a reenactment of her explosive panorama interview with Martin Bashir, an episode Prince William has publicly condemned and pleaded with networks to stop airing. The irony couldn't be sharper. How can Harry denounce press exploitation while profiting from a streaming giant dramatizing his mother's trauma? It gets messier. Harry has previously praised The Crown for getting things right, and even reportedly watched the show with friends while pointing out scenes he thought were accurate. This isn't just awkward, it's becoming part of a growing narrative that questions whether Harry's moral outrage is genuine or selectively applied. To some, this is the ultimate Hollywood hypocrisy. To others, it's just the price of playing the game. But either way, the optics aren't good. The prince who once called for privacy now finds himself entangled in the very industry he once tried to escape, an industry that never lets go once you're in its spotlight. While the headlines swirl around Harry's contradictions, Meghan Markle appears to be making a calculated shift of her own. With the podcast behind her and the Netflix content pipeline reportedly stalled, Meghan is now turning her attention toward a different lane: lifestyle branding. Enter American Riviera Orchard, her new passion project that blends Martha Stewart aspirations with California luxury. But insiders say this isn't just about jam jars and curated aesthetics. It's a strategic pivot, a bid to rebrand, reclaim, and, most importantly, revive her financial and cultural relevance. The stakes are high. Meghan's image has taken a hit over the past year, with public sympathy dwindling and media coverage growing increasingly skeptical. Launching a new business while under intense scrutiny isn't just risky, it's a make-or-break move. Some sources suggest she sees the lifestyle space as a safer, less controversial path, one where she can control the narrative without constantly mining royal trauma. Others argue it's a desperate pivot, banking on brand nostalgia in a market that may not be buying what she's selling. Critics point out that the success of a lifestyle brand depends on widespread relatability, something Meghan has struggled to maintain amid multi-million-dollar homes and private jet appearances. Still, if she can tap into her fan base and present the project as a return to her pre-royal roots, she might just build something sustainable. But make no mistake, this isn't just a hobby. Meghan's new brand isn't about jam, it's about legacy, control, and finding a path forward that doesn't rely on Harry or the crown. The only question is, will the public follow her into this next chapter, or leave her behind in the last one? The fairy tale glow that once followed Harry and Meghan is starting to flicker, and public perception is turning colder by the day. Once hailed as brave truth-tellers challenging the crown, the Sussexes now face a different kind of spotlight: skepticism, satire, and sliding approval ratings. According to multiple polls in both the UK and US, their popularity has dropped significantly since the height of their post-royal fame. The narrative has shifted from admiration to fatigue, and in some circles, outright disdain. Even respected voices have weighed in. At a recent literary event, journalist Tina Brown, no stranger to royal drama, allegedly called them D-list celebrities by Hollywood standards. She noted their Montecito mansion, while grand to most, is modest in comparison to the estates of true entertainment power players. The implication was clear: their star power may not stretch as far as they hoped in a town that runs on relevance and reinvention. The problem? Their brand was built on royal drama. And that drama, as juicy as it once was, can't be retold forever. You can only burn the palace bridges once before the public begins to ask, what else do you have to offer? Their content pipeline has thinned, and their once loyal fan base has become divided, some still cheering them on, others rolling their eyes at every new venture. Without the crown, without fresh scandal, and without the media's adoration, the Sussexes are no longer playing on royal prestige, they're playing on borrowed time. And in an image-driven world, when public interest fades, the rest follows quickly behind. If anyone thought Harry and Meghan were ready to retreat from the spotlight, think again. According to insiders, the couple is still sitting on a mountain of unseen content, allegedly raw, revealing footage gathered during their Netflix deal, much of it centered around their experiences within the royal family. And as rumours swirl about mounting financial pressure, speculation is growing that the Sussexes may soon be forced to cash in on their most valuable remaining asset: more royal dirt. Reports suggest Netflix still expects a payoff, something juicier than docuseries about mental health or animated children's programming. Executives are reportedly eager for drama, the kind that draws headlines and dominates trending lists. And if Harry and Meghan want to keep the money flowing, they might have no choice but to deliver it. That means revisiting family tensions, private conversations, and unhealed wounds, possibly even revealing details that were previously too explosive to include. This is where the alleged rift between Harry and Meghan starts to emerge. Some insiders claim Harry may be growing uncomfortable with how far they've gone, and how much further they might need to go. Meghan, however, is reportedly less hesitant. She knows the game, understands the stakes, and, according to some royal commentators, isn't afraid to go further if it means survival. The Sussexes once claimed they were telling their truth, but now, as the cameras keep rolling and Netflix waits with bated breath, the question isn't just what they'll say next, it's how far they're willing to go. Because in this media war, silence doesn't pay. And the couple who once left the crown behind may now find themselves more bound to it than ever. As the walls close in, some royal insiders say there's only one real exit strategy left, and it doesn't come from Hollywood. Whispers from the palace suggest that King Charles could, in theory, buy their silence. The deal? a multi-million-dollar payout in exchange for an ironclad agreement to stop airing royal grievances once and for all. For Harry, this could mean walking away from the Netflix drama, the tell-all books, and a life of constant backlash. But for Meghan? That's where things get complicated. She's reportedly not interested in fading into the background. Meghan has always been a strategist, calculated, ambitious, and fully aware of the value she brings. Signing away her right to speak, especially when she believes her story isn't done, may be a non-starter, and without both of them on board, any potential royal deal collapses before it starts. What was once framed as a fight for freedom is now looking more like a business negotiation gone sour. At the same time, their influence is waning. Public support is fractured, corporate partners are pulling back, and the royal card has been played nearly to exhaustion. Without a new angle, a major reinvention, or a surprise twist, there's a real danger their brand could flatline. So here they stand, at a crossroads. They can either risk one final cash grab by doubling down on royal chaos, or pivot to something new entirely. But time is running out, and the audience that once couldn't get enough may already be scrolling on. If they're going to pull off one last pivot, it has to be now. Because in Hollywood, no story lasts forever. So here we are, watching in real time as the fairy tale fractures. What started as a bold escape from royal tradition has slowly morphed into a cautionary tale about fame, money, and the limits of public sympathy. Harry and Meghan bet big on love, on independence, on the idea that truth-telling could be profitable. And for a while, it was. But now, with streaming giants turning cold and their media momentum stalling, the question is no longer what will they say next, but does anyone still care? Tom Bower's claims may sound harsh, but they hit a nerve. Because whether you admire the Sussexes or roll your eyes every time they launch a new project, there's no denying the stakes. They've reached a point where every move feels calculated, every silence feels strategic, and every headline is either a swing at survival or a signal of desperation. And behind all of it, one unsettling truth looms large. If the money dries up, what's left? This isn't just about royal drama anymore. It's about legacy, identity, and whether two people who walked away from the palace gates can actually make it on their own, or whether their entire media empire was always built on borrowed time. So what do you think? Are Harry and Meghan in real financial trouble, or is this just another narrative twist in a saga they've always controlled? Drop your thoughts in the comments, let us know where you stand, and if you're as obsessed with the drama as we are, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Because one thing's for sure, this story is far from over.